thanks for stopping by. I'd like to preface this video by saying it is not a knitting tutorial, but it means to have something playing in the background while you work on your own knitting project. If you're like me and really enjoy having something on while you work, sometimes the content you like is very visually engaging and you're several hours in and haven't gotten nearly as far along in your project as you would have liked to. So that's where I come in. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. I know, it's been a while, and I'm so glad that you're joining me today because this is, I think, my third video that I'm filming in a row. It is Monday night. It is currently 9:19, and I haven't had dinner yet, but I've also just been loafing around. We got a lot of snow today, and it's cleared up now. I was gonna do some errands, and then I was gonna film when I got right back home, but then my partner's like, I don't want to go driving today because the weather's bad. So instead I took a very long nap and woke up, and now it's nighttime, and I have a few more things I need to do before I start my day tomorrow when I go back to work. So I've just been filming because it was on my mind and it was something I wanted to do because now I'm actually done with some projects. And so today's video, I wanted to talk about some things that I have planned for the next year, this 2022 year. As you might know, I had ambitious plans to work on some projects last year to finish some projects that I've already had going on my roster of whips, and I didn't even nick any of them. I'm currently still working on a Christmas gift for my brother, who is stationed in Qatar right now, though he is scheduled to be coming back to the States here in January, but I have yet to know what exactly the day is, so I'm trying to speed up with this one project that I have for him. It's the skater beanie from Not Just Socks, so if you watch my Perusing Patterns playlist, you'll be able to check out that one and get a little more detail about what it looks like and everything. But if you watched my earlier upload, like my first one from the last few days, where I was just talking about all the holiday knitting that I got done, you can see what a finished one looks like because my uncle also got the same beanie, but just in a different colorway. And so yeah, I had this beautiful calendar that I did with all my washi tape and had a lot of fun making it. Calendar making was fun. I enjoyed that, but I didn't stick to it. I jumped around projects. I didn't knit in order of what projects I had identified as projects to knit for. So here I am, trying again for 2022. My goal this year is to really focus on my own projects. So I'm actually not too sure if you'll see a lot of me, just because a lot of them are literally the same things that I was showing you guys in 2020 and early 2021 before I even started moving. And I actually don't think I even was able to show you any of my own personal projects. I want to say that I was probably just doing the holiday stuff because I knew I had to get that nipped in the bud with the anticipation of perhaps moving and finding a new job and all of the things that happened so far in the beginning of the year. But for instance, I have with me, I'm a mentor for somebody in my profession, or who is taking classes to get into my profession, and I was waiting for them, and my schedule was just all out of whack, and I started on continuing with that second panel of my cardigan that I've been working on for eons, and I'm hoping that maybe maybe this will be the year I finish it so it's ready by this spring. We'll see. I'm still working on the Rye socks for my partner that I started like 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago now. I'm still working on the Knitterati 2019 Afghan by Cascade Yarns. I have a giant tote of yarn, and I have one ball of it in like a little tulle bag, that organza bag, I guess. It's more organza than tulle. I don't know. Some fancy little bag that I have to keep like dust off of it and stuff, and I think I had put that together thinking I was gonna do that last year, and I didn't. So if you remember me mentioning, or it was probably suggested to me by somebody, and then I thought it was a really good idea to do a time-lapse video, and I have all the footage of this time-lapse that I was working on, and I've decided to just scrap it. It's been so long since I've done it, I don't remember where I was I was keeping track in my notebook of where I was gonna be and where to film and like cross off like how far I got, but I'm like, forget it. I'm just gonna start over with a new project. I'm in a new environment. I'm gonna start with something that I can actually better organize. After filming it and labeling the footage and everything, I'm like, this isn't gonna work. So I'm gonna come at it with a better frame of mind, better idea of how to execute that correctly, at least in an easier way to organize the footage for myself. So we're gonna try a new project with that one later, perhaps, but I do want to finish the project that I currently have on the needles so I can get those needles back, because I really like those needles and I'm just holding some yarn on them. I still have a lot of the really cute cats that I was making for like my coworkers at my old job, and I'm kind of like texting kind of craft pals with a former coworker who retired from my previous job, and I want to make her some of those cats too, and I have a pen pal that I want to make cats for too, and my pen pal who used to be my fourth grade teacher, I still haven't finished her magic number blanket, like the big one, for that, and those are like the works in progress that I currently have. My partner really wants a cape, like a cloak with a hood and with ears on it, and he wants it to be all pink, and I haven't bought any of the yarn for that yet, and I think I have more experience now to safely do that one. When I first started knitting, that was one of the first projects they asked me to do for them, and I was like, "Ooh, okay." It's like, it's just one big blanket with a hood, right? Like, how hard can it be? But I really didn't find any patterns on Ravelry for one, but I also was very new to how to search that, so I'm going to try again later. It's going to be a big project, so I have set aside some time to start that this year at some point. And what else? I bought a lot of yarn. I've collected a lot of yarn. As you guys may know, if you've watched some of my other videos where I was trying to organize my yarn, I need to do another one of those, but like this whole room. Since I've been so busy just grabbing different things as I've needed them to finish up my holiday projects, I have totally neglected this room as a place for comfort and knitting and projects and being organized in here. It's just a haphazard waste zone right now from all of the projects that I've been grabbing and using and putting away and just kind of tossing in here as I've moved, because I just didn't have a lot of time to get organized. So reorganizing the space, going through some of the things that I brought with me to the move, and just reevaluating like what do I really need and how do I access it a little bit better now that I've kind of settled in. So those are like a lot of the things that I have planned for this year as far as knitting projects. I don't think I'm going to have a calendar again this year. I'm not going to focus so much on the things that I want to do for my family, only because every time I do that, I never have the time for myself, because it takes me that long to knit for them, and there are a lot of them that I just can't even try to think of it being a smart thing for me to do, to try to alternate my weeks where I'm working on something for myself. So I'm going to just try to finish out what I have, and then if I finish those before holiday season rolls around, great. I can start to incorporate some new things for my family this year. But if not, at least I've finished a lot of the ones that I've already had on my plate, so then maybe 2023 will be the year that I pick up again and do some more knitting projects. And maybe even get like a better like wish list going, so that if my family has any preferences, then at least I have it on my radar. Otherwise, apparently everybody's gonna get socks again. The people who don't have feet that grow anymore will get socks, and then maybe the youngins that are still hitting puberty and stuff will get something a little bit more lasting, like another scarf or something. We'll see. But that's kind of what my frame is for this year. With that, how does that fit in with you guys? How does that fit in with us and our interaction? I kind of don't want to do another. This is part 365 of this one project, you know what I mean? Because of how knitting fits into my life right now, at least how I'm picturing it turning out to be for this next year. I don't want to bore you all. If you're still sticking around, maybe this is what you want. You just want to hear me gab away while I'm working on the same project for months and months and months. But I kind of want to change it up. I want to kind of show you guys what a new project is when I'm working on it, and maybe what a finished project is when I'm done with it, and just leave the middle part for me just to do it. And I hope that's cool. And if it isn't, that's too bad. I gotta do what's right for me. I gotta do what makes me happy when I'm in front of you guys. And looking back at those other videos I've done where it's just the same project and I've only done like 3 rows, and then I come back the next week and it's another 3 rows, and you know, something happens and then I don't work on it, so it's another 3 rows and nothing is happening. You don't see any, like, a watch pot never boils. That is a phrase that I've heard since I was little. It's a phrase that I agree with, and it seems to be the truth. So I want to get with you guys when I have like something done, or when I'm starting something, or maybe just like a middle ground, but not like every single step. That could be what my time lapses are for. If I'm able to find a project where I can safely do a time lapse, where I can just sit and knit and record, and the battery doesn't run out of charge, and I can label every frame or every segment appropriately so I know where it syncs up in the sequence. Perfect, great, yay. But if not, then I just won't do that part. But that's kind of where I'm thinking to go. Just some progress reports with you all, check-ins, where I am with the different projects and what I'm planning on doing, or what I've finished up, and all that good stuff. So it won't be like every week thing. It might be every couple months. It kind of depends on where I am with the project and my knitting and all that good stuff. So there we are. But I do hope that I can actually come in more than just like twice a year. Then like last year was just a craziness with everything going on. So let's transition then. Since this is going to be my last video I'm making for this tonight, for the rest of this week that I collaborate or got some stuff together. It's been weird. I didn't even set up my light yet in here. Like, I am not ready to have this as like my official space yet. As much as I'd like to, I still need to do a lot of organizing. So one of my 2022 goals is to create more of a routine and a schedule that keeps my wellness in mind, my mental health in mind, and gives me something to shoot for, to have like some kind of purpose. Now, I love just sitting. I love just taking a nap. I love just not doing anything. I can sit on the couch for like 2 hours, no phone, no TV, no computer, no nothing, and just my cat taking a nap on my lap and me just looking out the window. Like, that's fine. I can do that just fine. But I have a lot of projects and a lot of things that I kind of want to incorporate into my life to have like a more some more rounding to it. One thing that my partner and I have started doing, minus today because there was a snowstorm, has been going on some walks on the weekends. We used to walk. Back where we used to live, it was a very nice, quiet neighborhood. It was easy just to walk around to the beach, come back, no big deal. And we would do that sometimes a couple times a night or a couple times a week during the weekdays and stuff. But now with my schedule, how long it takes me to get home, doing that now wouldn't work because it's already dark by the time I get home. Maybe in the summer we can try to do some in the evenings when it's still bright outside. It kind of just depends. But going on more walks with my partner is something that we want to do. Just getting outdoors, being active, seeing the neighborhoods, getting to know where we live. It's something we haven't really been doing with the whole outer world situation. But like more outdoorsy type things that are safe to do without needing to be crowded together with people, especially now with the variants that are even more contagious than prior ones. So we're concerned about that. Also though concerned, my family wants to plan a trip in late June, early July for me to join them on the Pacific Coast in Oregon. It's a place we used to go all the time when I was a kid, like every other summer. It was something I always looked forward to, and it's been years since I've seen my family in person. it's been since 2013 since I've seen my brother in person, so it's been a long time. And I really miss seeing them in person, just even if a little bit. I could totally be fine not living next to them, but like engaging with them in person, beyond just a phone call, something I miss. So I'm trying to plan to do that as long as the variants have not exacerbated any situation where I would absolutely not feel safe to be with my fully vaccinated, boosted family for a couple, like a week and a half. We'll see. My partner probably will not be coming because they are also very concerned about the variant, and the traveling part of it is a concern, which I totally understand and I am in agreement with, which is why we're just planning but not confirming anything yet. So spending more time with my folks is something that I would like to do this year. Additionally, just being more organized. I am horrible at being organized, so creating like this more of a routine in my life is something that I'm hoping will encourage me to kind of span out to other things. That means taking more days off. That means scheduling more days for like a deep clean of my apartment, slowly going through different areas of my home and reevaluating like, what do I have here? What do I absolutely need? Maybe reorganizing a little bit and just like finding ways to access things a little bit better in my life to make my life easier would be something great. And those are kind of like my goals, my hopes for 2022 is just to have more intention with what I do instead of just like haphazardly living my life, which is something I've always done just because I'm very laissez-faire about things, but I'm also kind of like half type A when it comes to like doing things. Like when I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. But I'm also a little bit of a perfectionist, so I don't want to start anything if I know it's not going to turn out 100% the way I want it to. But then when I do it and it's bad, I kind of just like forget about it and just like give up. I'm like, it's okay. So it's very weird how my mind approaches different things. But I'm just looking around in this room and it's making my skin crawl with like how it was okay when we first moved, got everything to the corners, but as I got busier and busier with my projects, things just started to come back closer to me, and now like it's just a tornado in here. So I'm gonna start to do some stuff like that. Once I get this room good, then I can probably set up my light, and so it won't see like this scary undercast of just the overhead light on me and more direct light and everything like that. So yeah, that's kind of where we are for 2022. Just trying to finish up some projects that I already had, focusing on my own projects, not so much trying to get everything done for my family. And though it's been hard because I still want to learn how to crochet, and I found out about loom, like weaving, and now I want to buy a loom and make scarves. And I'm like, I still need to do all of the things with the yarn that I've already bought first. Take some of those projects off my list, work down some of my yarn that I already have that I bought for projects, and then when I'm done with that, I can think about weaving, because it's not going to go anywhere. Looms are going to be around for a long time. I don't really have a good space for one right now anyway, because I have my knitting stuff, so I think I just need to do like one at a time, but I get so excited about things and I want to start them all, and then I jump to another project, and it's just crazy. I'm sure there are a lot of you out there who can relate. That's how we kind of have these whips as a problem or these yarn stashes that just keep growing, and though we have like no project in mind to use them, it's just like pretty yarn. And I've been on Instagram all the time and I see all the pretty yarn, but I'm like, no, I'm just gonna like it and keep moving. I'm not gonna instantly go to that shop and try to buy it, because that is where I ended up where I am right now and I don't want to do that again. So I need to pump the brakes. I usually jump in the deep end when I get into a new project, so I need to be more realistic about what I can do with my time, because until I'm retired, I'm not going to have a lot of that to just go around for knitting too, because it takes me so long. So yes, thank you so much for listening to me ramble about that. It wasn't a knitting video, so there was no tutorial to disenchant you with. it was just me chatting about what the future holds for me, for the channel, for my projects, and yeah, I hope you all are doing well. Let me know in the comments, what are some goals you have for 2022? Do you have a lot of projects you want to finish? Do you have some you want to start? I'd love to hear what you guys all have planned as well for this year, and we can cheer each other on. Our goals are everyone's goals, and we all want to do very well with them and succeed and feel good about ourselves. So I will root for you if you root for me. Thank you so much. All right, so with that, I'll catch you in my next one. Bye.